Yeah. What's poppin'? Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Like Joel Santana, circa 06, like Cook Crack. That's right, baby. We here in the building. Your three favorite jabronis back for another recap of this past week in wrestling. Or, as Vince McMahon will call it, sports entertainment. This is the No Pyro Podcast. My name is Total Mac, a.k.a. TVD Mac, a.k.a. Sick Flair, in the building. As always.
Got one more, a.k.a.
Go ahead.
Skateboard M. Talk to him.
All right, listen. It's breaking news. I didn't want to break the news, but you know what I'm saying? Swerve, you just go ahead and put it out there now. We recording, we live. I did go ahead and purchase a game yesterday on my off day.
Did you buy Tony Hawk?
Yes, I did.
Man.
Was it a bad purchase, Drew? Could I take it back?
No, I didn't expect you to be a Tony Hawk person.
That's the exact thing I said.
I assumed that once you popped in and listened to the soundtrack for like about 2 minutes, your eardrums would just move the fuck out.
You thought it was more of a Def Jam icon guy?
I hate that game.
I mean, I'm not trying to paint pictures here, but yeah, kind of.
Well, Picasso, I love this game. It's one of my games growing up.
Really?
In the house all day, right here. This and another game, which they're probably not going to come out with, but if they did, Dave Mirra's BMX. Talk to me.
Now, do you remember when they were going to be making a third one, but they couldn't to Dave Mirra, so they made BMX XXX?
I don't remember that one.
It was basic. What's that?
We talked about that game before, I think.
Yeah, what it was basically BMX, but with topless women.
I don't remember that.
It was terrible because they couldn't get Dave Mirra's license. So they're like, well, this will sell. It didn't. Spoiler, it didn't.
Yeah, no. I love those type of games. Even X Games, when they brought, I forgot what the name of their game was, their first one. But SSX Tricky or X Games, yeah, these are my jams. And there's another game that Ubisoft is coming out with. It's releasing February 25th. Already told Swervey about it. Rockin' Republic. Look at your preview, Drew. It's amazing.
What is it called?
Rockin' Republic.
I'm looking it up right now. All I get is a jeans company.
This little girl started screaming, and her mother just said, "Stop screaming, goddammit." Hold on.
You do need to finish introducing them.
Yeah, it's called Riders Republic. So you pull that up. Riders Republic is the name of the game. While you pull it up, before I was brutally, that's the only way I know how to describe it, brutally interrupted. Somebody tried to out me for my purchases. His name is Swervey Lee, a.k.a. 2-Sub-Swerve, a.k.a. Swervey Atmos, a.k.a. Swollen Powell, f.k.a. Yoko Tuna, a.k.a.
Blood oxygen levels.
What the hell does that mean?
That means I got my eye and my ear to the streets, the tech streets.
Oh, you was watching today?
Yes, sir.
Apple?
Yes, sir. I took a bite.
Oh, okay. You like what you saw? All right, Apple.
No, I like they got some they shocked the world with some low prices.
$399 for that iPad. I said, check. I'll have to go ahead and cop that.
Bah.
I'm sorry. Is Metro Mattress bringing a Serta in your place right now, or what?
I think that was coming on your end. I think
This motherfucker talking to me on a Samsung or a Sprint Instinct. I want to call everybody.
I'm so fucking cheap. I'm about to start going to LG. Okay, so I got no limit.
Instinct.
I'm not sitting going, hey, you know what? I don't even know the reviews for this motherfucker, but I'm getting it because it's Apple.
You want to Sprint Instinct talking about sheep? Come on, man. That's like I could be a dedicated Switch player, and then you be a Sony dude. I can just bash you and call you a sheep. Come on, Drew. Enough.
Nintendo's been around longer, so if you're a dedicated Switch player, you're probably more of the sheep. But I mean, I'm gonna let you go with that one. I'm gonna let you slide.
Oh man, this motherfucker got more answers than a cheat test. I tell you.
Joe,
No Chill Drew is in the building, aka EGB.
what's that stand for?
Huh?
What's that stand for? Tell the people. Everybody gets buried.
Everybody gets buried, including Total Mac, every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. Check your local listings.
I'm literally like Michael Cole Michael Cole when he got to the announcing table. Like people were back, but everyone loved me. That's
The Rock's throwing a fucking t-shirt on him.
Yeah, right. With the blonde tips, the frosted tips.
Oh.
Yeah. AKA everybody gets buried. AKA the Applebee's Don. AKA. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Recipe.
White Claw City, baby.
And by the way, I miss Cinnamon Toast Cold.
White Claw City, basic bitch central, man.
You said you miss what now?
I said I miss Cinnamon Toast Michael Cole, man.
Yeah, that Michael Cole with the black jean shirt. Yeah.
He reminded me of a prepubescent teenager. Like, he was just gawky as fuck. Like, lanky, gawky. He was just standing there like, Mr. Austin, can I ask you what your thoughts are on the Royal Rumble? And then, like, he just whoop the fuck out of him or, like, throw a beer on him or something.
Yeah, that's him.
I could have been on Center, but here I am.
Well, see, he was good at that, but he wasn't great at it, like the coach was.
Well, the coach made it look cool. Like, at the same time, like, yeah, he was getting punked out, but he had a coolness to him. Michael Cole was never cool, ever.
That's all I'm saying. He got overshined by the coach. That's all I meant.
We have a lot to talk about. We were out last week. This is
Important event tomorrow.
Huh?
Important event tomorrow.
Very important event. This is episode number 111. And in this episode, we're going to talk, of course, the square circle. But I think this goes without saying. This is probably the biggest 2 weeks. This is week number 2 that we're in now for the gaming community, the landscape. Historically, this has been very, very, very big. Tomorrow, the second foot drops. Last week, $4.99, $2.99. X, S. This week, discless. Gentlemen, starting with Drew. Drew, what are the prices?
Are we talking about the PlayStation?
Let's get it.
Okay, so here's my thing. 2 generations ago, PlayStation fucked up. They made their PS3 $600, and they played catch up the entire generation. So the next generation, they made sure to make that shit $100 lower, so that they can even those odds. This generation, I'm gonna say $299, $499.
This motherfucker.
Now, if they don't match, I say $299, $350. Right. I'm second, $450.
I've given 3 sets of prices, man. Just pick one.
No. You know what
No,
this is, bro?
$299 is a discless.
No, you know what this is? This is where the motherfucking Sony boy is butt hurt. And then you see that gut punch coming.
How am I butthurt when they got a leak? They got a leak,
They-
and they're like, "Oh fuck! Well, I guess we gotta give it away now."
Yo, Microsoft with that haymaker, they ain't see it coming, so they're like, oh, that's what that is.
No, they're either gonna make it the same or they're gonna make it $50 cheaper.
Yeah, I don't think so, bro.
There's no way they come out here and say $599.
Before I give my prices, Swerve, what do you think, man?
They want to win, so they're gonna be $299 and $399.
You think so? Hell nah.
You think it's gonna be $100?
I told you that before. $299 for the digital version and $399 for the other one.
No. They can't do that.
Why can't they? You watching their wallet?
Yeah, I am.
Well, you shouldn't.
I think that Swervy's onto something because Sony's proven in the past that they're definitely willing to take a loss early on to get a head start.
They petty, man. I told you.
Yeah, but they wasn't petty when they dropped that PS3.
No, and they learned from that mistake because that shit cost them.
Yeah, you said PS3 though. We talking. There's been a 4 out since then. They're not gonna do that again.
Well, they're not. But
Do you know before Microsoft announced that Xbox One that they had planned on packaging the camera and all that kind of stuff in there in their PS4, and they took it out to make that joint $399 after they fumbled Microsoft fumbled the price. They play dirty, man. They always have. They always will.
well, I think in this day and age, you can't play dirty because Microsoft has played dirty first. I don't think we're getting a match. I think we have to stay honest with what the specs are.
How are they playing dirty though? How is
Microsoft.
Microsoft playing dirty? Yeah.
Well, I don't think it was intentional, but the price drop happened, and $299 for
Yeah,
What'd you say, Drew?
that was definitely a leak that they weren't planning on.
Yeah, I don't think that was intentional whatsoever. But I just think with the smaller console, with it being more accessible price wise, you got Game Pass, you can still continue to play your games. It's a very attractive console. And for $299, that's not bad at all. Not bad. But I just think with the PS5, the digital, of course it's a better system. Sony's not going to take a big $100 loss, $150 loss on that. So $299, absolutely not. I'm saying that will be $399, very least.
For the discless?
Yes, hands down.
You're saying that even though Microsoft has the EA Play that comes with the Xbox, which probably costs them money to put it on there if it's exclusive to Xbox.
That's not the whole thing though. So
No, but I'm saying that obviously, that's going to cost them a little bit of money to put it on there. With all that, it's still going to be cheaper than PlayStation.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Because here's what, and I don't think Sony's going to do this. Microsoft is trying to take every avenue. They've got the pre-order avenue for the full cost of just a console. They've got it where you can split it up over 24 months or 12 months, whatever it is, with the Ultimate. And then come holiday, you'll get EA Play included in that. That's just the S. A lot of people probably aren't going to do 24 months for the S for $25 a month. But if you got good credit, you get no interest, 0%, $25 a month. You can't really beat that.
Yeah, let me just say that's a smart move on their end. Like, I don't like to give them credit very often, as you could tell. But when I heard that they were doing that, I'm like, that's smart as fuck. You figure
Yeah.
we're going through a pandemic. A lot of people who might have planned on saving up for these consoles ended up not being able to. So you get Xbox coming out going, listen, we got this S. Majority of the specs are the same. There's just a couple things that are obviously less than the X. But if you want to pay $25 a month, you could pay this thing off. And honestly, that's probably going to be a better deal than some people would be if they charged it on their personal credit cards.
I even saw really they didn't even have to go. They really didn't even have to do $4.99 on their X because they gonna get everybody back with the storage.
Well, I don't know. They got to come up with some type of SSD that's cheaper than the rumor prices that have been floating around. But
just don't get SSD.
Huh?
You could probably hook up any external hard drive.
No, you have to get these for this next generation games. You have to get this specific type because it's an SSD.
Well, what they're saying is you can get, and I don't want to say correct me if I'm wrong, but you can still do a regular schmegular external hard drive, but you're not getting it can only be certain games. It's gonna perform slower. It's not gonna match what the console has internally. So you want to get a SSD that's gonna match the specs that the Xbox is gonna deliver at. And if you're using it on the X, I don't think that's gonna work at all because you can't. It has to match what the specs are, and it can't be used on a next gen game. You can't put a next gen game on a fucking scan disk and turn it
but
into
you know where you can get something that will match that at a cheaper price?
What's that?
From a magical land far away that many of the experts once referred to as China. Because they're going to knock that shit off so fucking hard.
You're talking like what, 100, 200?
It was like 150 to $200, yeah. So China's going to have some knockoffs that are probably going to be like 50 to 90.
As time goes on, I expect to see.
Yeah, good luck with those game saves.
Right, exactly.
I mean, you might end up giving your blender a virus with what China's doing, but who knows?
My prediction for the PS5 with the disc is going to be $449. That's my prediction. They'll come down a little bit on the price there, but they can't $100 to $150 for the discless, which was probably originally $499. They're not coming down to $299.
I don't even think that a discless was $499.
That's what the rumor price was before the leak came out. It was $599. It was $499.
It's just if you're not having to actually put in the disk driver, you're saving a lot of money right there. So I couldn't imagine that they would be unless the storage is outrageous. If they have the same storage as the disc one, I can see. But if there's other stuff coming down besides just the diskless, it's got to be.
They have less storage.
So if it's less storage, I can't imagine.
There's just too many reasons why it should just cost less overall. The storage, the power. The only thing it has over them is the speed. That's it.
I mean, the only reason that I could see it being $499 is if it came out and it was the exact same storage, the exact same power. It's just this one doesn't play discs. That's the only reason I can see. Other than that, $299.
Y'all crazy, man. No way. Hell no. I will come on the podcast next week and say I'm wrong as hell if it's $299. It won't be.
That ain't your gimmick, dude.
Huh?
That's not your gimmick. You're going to come on this podcast and say, I was right, but then they listened to this podcast and they changed it. So I'm still right. They changed it just to fuck on me.
They're not listening to this. Their price has already been decided.
It was.
The
And
price
now
was
they took a
decided.
whole week to come out with this show to change it.
No, that shit was decided when the leak came out. And the leak got to them before it got to the public. I'm telling you that now.
Yeah, because it's probably them who leaked it.
Plain and dirty.
If they wanted to.
Somebody leaked the whole shit and they said, you know what, fuck it. We'll just release everything on Twitter. Got me subscribing to their tweets now. So every time I get a tweet from Xbox, I get it. So pre-orders are live the 22nd. I heard from a GameStop rep 12 p.m. I've heard from Best Buy 11 a.m. Eastern.
See, Best Buy petty.
I will say this. I will go on the no Pyro record right now and say this. Sony can sway me. Sony can sway me. I need to see in the 40 minutes tomorrow, 44, 45 minutes, I need to see first-party games. I need to see $3.99 for that price.
Drew don't believe it. He can't be swayed.
His mind was made up 2 years ago.
What you mean?
His mind was made up 2 years ago. Don't listen to that. Nothing he's saying right now.
Also, I need to know what type of limitations we talking about. How many consoles that y'all ship over? How many on the embargo right now? That's all I want to know.
I don't think you're going to get that.
I could be swayed. I'm 85-15.
Might as well be 99-1.
Yeah, I'm 85-15 Microsoft right now. I mean, did you see how small the consoles look? They don't look that big.
Yeah, I mean, Phil Spencer had the S on his fucking shelf and we didn't even notice.
That fucking Sony, oh my God, looks humongous. Unless I'm wrong.
This reveal for Sony, they could literally say this console is guaranteed to make your dick bigger, and you'll sit there and go, "Well, I mean, I haven't got any complaints, so I'm still going to go Xbox."
What are you even talking about?
Talk about how you're talking.
I think it's time to get to wrestling now.
That's what I'm saying, man. Drew, man. I'm sorry, bro. You lost me.
Okay. Well, you want to start with AEW?
You don't have to sound so defeated, man.
I had a point, but you guys just like wiped it away.
What's your point, man?
I don't even know.
You're talking about enhancer. Sony being an enhancer pill. It means still turning it down.
You gotta make your point without penises, man.
Okay. Well, sometimes you got to make a point with a penis because it's the best point.
I'm just saying, man. All I'm saying is I'll be watching. I could be swayed. I drive a hard bargain. Can Sony meet that? That's all I'm saying.
So, before we get into Dynamite, I wanted to address a few things from All Out. The first thing I wanted to address was, first and foremost, did any of you guys see All Out?
Yes.
I did not.
Oh.
But unfortunately, I don't remember much because it's been like mad long.
Okay, so the first match that they did was the match that they did inside the dentist office. which was Big Swole against Britt Baker. I know that I heard some people say that they liked it. I thought it was the cringiest fucking thing I've seen in a while. Nothing looked real. I mean, they would pull plaques off the wall and hit their opponent with it, but they would do it like so slow. They made sure that nobody actually got injured. I understand that they're trying to like go easy on Britt because she's coming back from an injury, but if that's the case, don't have her wrestle yet. Like, don't have a match that looks like shit. The only thing that I did take away from this that was crazy was at one point Britt Baker had pulled out a Novocaine needle and it got reversed and put in her knee. And man, you got to be fucking tough to just take a syringe to the leg because I don't want that shit. Another thing, Matt Hardy almost dying. Who the fuck is their doctor in AEW? Like, is their doctor just like
Dr. Death.
covered in malpractice suits? Like this dude. What?
Steve Williams.
I mean, this guy, first and foremost, they have a merch table in the middle of the backstage area where nobody's walking. So, you know, that looks natural. And then they go through this thing, but Matt Hardy clears it and just smacks the back of his head on concrete. And everyone's just like, yo, stop this fucking match. And I guess the doctor's whole examination was, Matt, you good? As he's spaghetti-legged and clearly has no clue where he is. And you're like, yeah, no, I'm good. All right, well, let's continue this match. And they just fucking fast-forwarded to the finish. And it was the worst fucking thing I think I've ever seen. It's like, man, you guys are just begging to get fucking shut down at this point or begging to get a lawsuit. Like, what the fuck? So those are my 2 points. That and JR getting himself a Me Too hashtag on commentary was something with his JR quote of the week. Which was during the what was it? The Dark Order match. He says, "Oh, I think Anna Jay has a wardrobe malfunction." No, wishful thinking though. So good job, Jim.
Come on, Jim. Your wife died, man.
I think he knows.
Jim, slow the fuck down. Have some respect.
God damn. It's just like, what the fuck? You know she was watching that back and she's just like, what the fuck?
I mean,
you could take
things you don't say.
Jerry Lawler rubbed off on him, you know?
Oh, pause.
Think of what man Drew trying to save himself after that penis blunder earlier. Read on, sir.
Okay, so let's go into AEW now. Match starts off with a tag team match, Jurassic Express against Lucha Bros. Now, Lucha Brothers, they kind of explain why Jon underwent a name change. He's now known as Penta L0M. The reason for this is because AAA in Mexico owns the rights to the names Phoenix and Pentagon. So by them having the names Ray Phoenix and Penta L0M, they're able to still do licensing in America and actually get proceeds from their shirt sales because of the fact that they're using different names as what's licensed in Mexico. Nonetheless, it was a pretty decent match. Jurassic Express ended up getting the win. After the match, Phoenix and Pentagon kind of started fighting back and forth. Eddie Kingston did interrupt. He reminded the Lucha Brothers that he was there when Pac wasn't. He asked the Blade where his wife was in reference to Allie not being around them anymore. And he ordered the brothers to shake hands. Pentagon refused. Eventually, he did get the group to be reunited. And he also started saying that he was never eliminated from the Casino Battle Royal at the pay-per-view. He was screwed out of it because of the fact of Jake the Snake Roberts scaring him with a snake. All in all, it was pretty good. Obviously, if I'm describing it, it's not that great, but it was pretty good. Then we move on to The Walking Dead. No, I mean Matt Hardy. He addressed the fans.
More like the Trying to Walk Dead with the spaghetti legs. AEW. I just gotta say something, Drew, not to cut you off. Looking a little sloppy. I'm not gonna lie. There's been instances in this company's existence where you haven't been buttoned up. This is one of those moments where I don't know if you're getting in your own way as far as being the ECW, WWE of old, WCW of old, but you don't need to do these spots to make you feel like you're the supreme company. This was not needed.
I honestly feel like it was a panic on their end because Matt Hardy's stipulation for that match was if he loses, he's out. So they're like, well, we can't have him lose this match by forfeit. He has to win it. And instead of just like calling it off and saying we're going to finish this once he's able to compete, they kind of panicked and just went, well, let's just get to the finish and have Sammy lose. And really, they rushed the spot completely. I mean, Sammy Guevara, it was a last man standing match, and he literally took one bump and didn't get up. That kind of shows you how hard they rushed this. But he came out. He addressed the fans that were in attendance. He discussed his fall and some of the scary moments that took place after it. He did say that he's expecting to make a 100% recovery. He acknowledged that his wife was actually in the crowd for this Dynamite taping. He pledged to get healed up and focus on winning some AEW gold. He then applauded the fans, and they got a kind of a close-up shot of Rebby watching from the crowd. She, by the way, was not happy at all during this pay-per-view. She was fucking livid, as one would be.
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm sorry. What were you gonna say?
I didn't have nothing to say really.
The next match that we have is the winner of the Mojito Mayhem match, Orange Cassidy taking on Angelico with Jack Evans. Angelico made his return to Dynamite after a long hiatus. I'm sorry, Mamiso Mayhem match, not Mojita. Wow, I fucking suck. Cassie did his normal stuff of dodging a lot of the attacks, sword off the top rope, did a lot of his aerial maneuvers, and actually did get the win with the Orange Punch, is what he calls his finisher. After the match, Santana and Ortiz came out. They attacked Cassidy until Best Friends made the save, and they issued a challenge for a parking lot showdown next week. So I'm not quite sure if this is going to be a 6-man tag parking lot showdown or just a tag team match, but it's something.
Yeah, I don't.
No, I'm sorry. What was that?
I was just saying I don't know if they're going to do a parking lot match next week.
No, they are. It's just I don't know in it whether it's going to be a 6-man tag or just a tag match.
Okay.
So the next thing that they have is the one that I really wanted to talk about. And this is Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford. Comes to the ring to talk about their upcoming wedding. Kip Sabian talks about introducing his best man. Tony Schiavone was originally in the ring interviewing them. He was dismissed from the ring after two false people with a Twitch subscriber and Brian Pillman Jr. basically being falsely named. He eventually did name his best man for the wedding, and it is Miro, formerly known as Rusev.
Time for you boys to eat crow.
What?
Because you said he would not be on AEW. And look at now.
You're right. You're right.
Rusev is on AEW now?
He is.
Yo.
With a short haircut, bleach blonde.
Oh, fucking goodness.
I have been saying this for months. What happened? And now they all plowing his wife on Raw because he ain't there to stop it.
But now, he gives the obligatory anti-WWE promo on his first night. Was I under a glass ceiling? Yes, I was. Check. The brass that Vince McMahon talked about during the podcast? Check. You could shove that brass ring up your ass? Check. Introducing his new name? Check. So, yes, Miro, as he calls himself now, is aligned apparently with Kip Sabian, best man for his wedding. I guess that's his moniker now, the best man, Miro. I mean, he looks good.
The only thing we have to see now is where is his ceiling now?
I mean, he came out as somebody's man, so.
Exactly. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
I'm going to say the ceiling has no stairs.
Oh, boy.
And he came out, I'm watching it now, in like some cheetah, or I don't know what kind of pants. They're print pants. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a tweet that said, this is from at Sliced Wrestling, Rusev debuts on AEW. Vince McMahon, quote, heck, have Nia Jax put Lana through a table. Oh.
You're going to see Lana on WWE Underground just taking real fucking shots to the face.
They said Lana joins the Nia Jax club. She has 3 more years left on her deal.
Oh, you know that they're going to abuse her like Tina Turner, man.
Let's stay here for a second. What is his ceiling? Because I don't again, I don't get this move. I don't get it at all.
I don't know. I honestly, I won't lie to you. I don't know what his ceiling is. I would hope that it's good. I would hope that, it's a higher ceiling than he had in WWE. But once again, if you're just going to come out here and make anti-WWE promos every week, it's going to get old very fast. There's already like 3 guys doing that shtick.
Hey, look, man, I just told you he was coming there. I ain't tell you how he's going to come in.
Yeah, this is bad.
They should not have debuted him as some jobber's best man. But we got him there. Let's see what happens after that.
Well,
I don't know.
The next thing that we had a backstage vignette with MJF. He's in his boardroom, his campaign headquarters, kind of licking his wounds after losing his world title match. Realizing that the reason he lost was because of all these jabrones that are around him, and he fired his whole campaign staff. Went off on I forgot the And the one woman, he kept on telling her to smile. He's like, "Oh, now you smile when I don't tell you to? Get the hell out of here!" Like he went off. And then it came to Wardlow, and he got on Wardlow's face. It told Wardlow, "Oh, you're here now too. Even though you cost me my match, you couldn't even throw a ring to me correctly. And he insulted his intelligence, stuff like that. Wardlow got in his face, and he's like, "Oh, do we have a problem? Because it's not Tony Khan who pays you, it's me. So if we got a problem, you could be on the street with starving on the street. That's fine. If we have a problem, you could live in your car. So let me know if we have a problem." And of course, Wardlow backed down, and he's like, "That's what I thought, War Dog." And then you do call him War Dog.
MJF, the $1 million baby over there? Oh, like you got money like that?
I guess. Hey, he was on Rosie O'Donnell at age 5. Have you ever watched that segment?
No. I
Never
should look
thought
at
I'd hear Rosie O'Donnell blast.
You gotta look that up. When he was on Rosie O'Donnell at the age of 5.
Wardlow?
No, MJF.
Oh.
So
Doing
yeah,
what?
what's that?
I said, doing what?
Singing. I guess his parents had him like singing like opera tunes or something, and it caught her attention. They sent a video into her, and she was like, "Oh, I gotta have him on my show." He was like 5, but he brought up that he was a fan of wrestling at the time, and his favorite wrestler was The Rock.
I knew the reason I like MJF.
The next thing that we have is Total Mac's favorite wrestler in all the company in the next match,
Oh boy.
as we have Sonny Kiss.
No. No, bruh. That's definitely your people's hair and all.
Teaming up with Joey Janela in a no disqualification match to take on Chris Jericho and Jake Hager. Do I have to tell you who won this match?
Nope, you don't.
This is almost like when you see like the Patriots lining up against the Dolphins, and you're like, "Do I got to watch this match?"
Yo, but Jake Hager needs this like badly.
And Jake Hager got the pin.
Wow.
And after the match, Chris Jericho declared that he and Hager are setting their sights on FTR and the AEW World Tag Team titles.
See, I kind of almost wish that FTR didn't get it so that they could win because they need something. If he's gonna be there, he needs something. I mean,
they can always beat FTR.
all WWE guys have it now anyway, but still.
The next thing that we have John Moxley talking about his match at All Out. He admitted that things are not getting easier for him as champion, nor should they. Then he cut a promo on the number 1 contender, Lance Archer. After that, FTR was celebrating their tag title win with Tully Blanchard, who, at the time I thought was going to be the worst manager ever, seeing as how none of his guys were winning belts until now. FTR cut down the tag team division. This included the Jurassic Express and the Gun Club, before revealing that they will battle Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus in a non-title match next week. So you know who's winning that. And to close the show, basically the closing of the show was basically just FTR shitting on everyone. Odell Beckham Jr. style.
Couldn't let that one pass up, Drew.
Oh, I couldn't. I had something last week and I totally forgot it. So, it was during my introductions. Oh, my bad. There was actually more. Wow, I suck. Tay Conti, debuting in AEW. She was an NXT standout who had gotten released. She's taking on Nyla Rose. Rose whooped that ass. And then the last thing that we had, the main event, was the TNT Championship match. Dustin Rhodes taking on Brody Lee. This is after Dustin Rhodes' team defeated the Dark Order at the pay-per-view. He got a TNT title match, kind of trying to win it for his brother. He even delivered a crossroads to Brody Lee. However, Brody Lee would eventually get a counter and win the title, or keep the title, rather. Dark Order hit the ring to celebrate. This included Colt Cabana. Once he got in the ring, Brody Lee actually banished him, so he wasn't allowed to actually celebrate with them because he's the one who lost to the pay-per-view. Brody Lee then taunted Cody, looking at the camera and exclaiming, "Come on home, Cody, come on home." And that's how they ended.
Come
Any
on.
thoughts?
Well, no, but what is the next pay-per-view? 3 months?
Let me see. It actually shouldn't be that. I think it's Full Gear. Yeah, the next one is Full Gear. Let me see when that's going to be. November 7th.
Okay, so they've got time to build this, and I think that Moxie's reign is gonna extend past this. I think he takes this belt into the new year.
So you don't think Lance Archer's going to win?
No, because I mean they from history has shown me they like a long reign. Jericho to Moxley. I think that's what they're gonna do. I could be wrong though.
Before we go on to the next show, something that we weren't able to talk about last week, but I did want to just touch on with you guys and get thoughts and opinions. WWE's ban on third-party groups, third-party sites. Your thoughts on that ban?
Initial reaction was Rusev safe.
But Lana's not.
Well, it wasn't her channel, so I mean, can you
Well,
really
she
get
showed
her?
Well, and also, Lana's not safe because actually, a lot of people were thinking that she was actually the straw that broke the camel's back, because she has the highest subscribers on TikTok of any WWE wrestler. She also has her own outside endorsements that are personal to her, that are not coming in through WWE from her TikTok. And a lot of people felt that that was kind of like WWE getting pissed, like, okay, you're our wrestler. These profits, we should be getting some of these profits. However, she's confirmed that it's not the reason, and it's looking more like the reason that it was passed down was AJ Styles on his Instagram, letting everyone know that he had recently tested positive for COVID-19, which is something the company was really trying to keep secret. So what it's looking like is the third party ban. From what I've read, originally people were getting all pissed off because it's like, okay, now we can't be on any of these sites. WWE has kind of said, okay, listen, you could be on these outside sites, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever the fuck. You can't use your ring name. You have to use either an outside name or your real name. You cannot use your WWE name, your WWE likeness, anything like that. To me, it makes sense. I don't know about you guys, but it makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's fine. Because I can't go all over like, Facebook or Instagram saying crazy stuff and using my company's logo. Like I can't be doing all that. So it's kind of the same.
We live in a day and age where, I mean, a lot of stuff that people say a lot of times gets misconstrued. And there's also a lot of people that say dumb shit that's super dumb. And I don't think WWE wants to be a part of either of those two scenarios where it's like, oh, I'm just going to throw a name out there. Bray Wyatt said this. Well, no, that's his personal. That's not our character. That's not a reflection on this company. He wasn't in character at the time. That's him. He could do his own thing. And, if it's something where we need to address it, we will. But that's not us. So don't throw our name in there.
Yeah, I get it.
It would be nice if they could split the two, but Vince isn't going for that type of shit. You know that. He wants to capitalize on every type of money grab he can. And if whatever, I forgot Bray Wyatt's real name, but if Wyndham, yeah, if you can get paper as yourself without any of WWE or Vince's involvement, Vince is gonna hate that. So Vince is trying to monopolize the money. You're not a person, you're an entity. Whether you're on or off camera or off script or anything.
I mean, it's almost like he's claiming ownership of people in a way. And mind you, these are not employees of WWE. They're independent contractors. WWE has made sure to let everyone and their brother know they're independent contractors. That's their way of giving them benefits. That's their way of not paying them when they're injured. That's their way of basically treating them of less than. And then as soon as they go, okay, well, if I'm an independent contractor, then I should be able to take my talent wherever the fuck I want because I'm only contracted to you when I'm actually working for you. And then it turns into, well, no, you're an employee of WWE, but you're not giving me health insurance. So he wants to walk that fine line where he gets his cake and eats it too.
I wonder why all of a sudden he's deciding that people can't go moonlight somewhere else. It's not like Brock Lesnar was going to show. Well, Braun Strowman was going to show up on AEW or show up at an indie promotion.
And he definitely want to get paid for those page leaks.
Well,
I understand why he doesn't want his wrestlers wrestling anywhere else, moonlighting, because if they go, let's say they go in and moonlight in Ring of Honor, and hey, I'm going to be working a couple of dates in Ring of Honor, and they put you in the ring with somebody who's greener than goose shit, and that person's like, oh, I want to do a super high risk move because I'm wrestling somebody from WWE and it'll look great on YouTube, and they end up breaking Muhammad Ali's fucking leg. Oh, Muhammad Ali, Mustafa Ali. They end up breaking Mustafa Ali's leg.
the fuck?
It's been a long fucking day, okay?
Hey, what was it last week? Jackie Robinson? No, it was the fuck,
you know who I was thinking he was gonna say is Muhammad Hassan, but he went all the way left.
Oh man. So yeah, let's say Mustafa Ali moonlights in Ring of Honor, and you're wrestling some greener than goose shit guy who decides, oh, I'm going to do a triple sex plancha, flippy flop with a rope a dope, and they do this and end up breaking Ali's fucking leg. That's WWE's problem now. It's like, okay, now you're on the shelf. Now we can't use you because you decided to moonlight at this company. And you're under contract, so we're still paying your downside guarantee, even though you got injured somewhere else. That I understand is why they don't let guys wrestle other places, and it's smart. I mean, they are your intellectual property, so you got to protect them.
I just don't like that Vince is getting a cut of Sasha's check there for being in the Mandalorian, which we'll talk about pretty soon.
Is he?
What? I mean,
I don't think that he is.
I don't know.
No, he's not. That's something that's outside. Basically, she would just have to request, "Hey, can I do this?" And probably they get some publicity out of it because it's like, "Hey, WWE superstar."
So
I don't.
a wrestling habitat is what you're saying.
Yeah, like they're not going to let you moonlight in Ring of Honor, but if you get permission to do something, like if you sit there and say, "Hey, there's this acting gig that I really want to do. Can I do this?" And I'm not booked to work, these 6 months. Can I, get out there and do this? And you never know. They might give WWE a cut, not a cut of what Sasha's getting, but just like a, "Hey, thanks for letting us use your wrestler. Here you go," or "Hey, we'll work with WWE Pictures later on. So it's as you scratch my back, we'll scratch your back" type of thing. I don't think that they're taking money out of Sasha's pocket.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who this benefits.
I think that it's meant as a failsafe. It is purely a failsafe. You don't want guys showing up saying, "I'm WWE superstar Braun Strowman," and you know what this country doesn't need? People that don't look like me. Like, you don't want that shit happening. So that's why it's like, listen, you don't use your likeness. By the way, he looks like somebody who would fucking say that. Am I wrong? Am I wrong to say that? Am I out of my league? They don't want their name getting attached to that shit. So if it happens, it's like, "Oh, this guy works for WWE, but he's not representing WWE when he says it." And they can easily say that when it's like, "Hey, he's not using his name. He's not represented by us. We have no say in that, and don't attach us to these articles because we do not share those opinions." Now, if he shows up as Braun Strowman, then it's a little bit harder to say that.
Little breaking news, Swervy, 4:00. What are you doing tomorrow?
Working.
Okay. That's what time the Sony event is.
Yeah, I'm working.
Okay. All right. Drew, I know you'll be working too, as will I.
Yeah, hopefully I can, get in a special project so I can watch it.
I'm gonna see what this XCloud about too in a couple days, probably. Well, maybe not a couple days, but I gotta reinstate my game, whatever you call it. I gotta reinstate it.
So kind of tie the two together. I will be looking at that too. But Drew, say for instance, if Roman Reigns showed up to the event tomorrow to preview, I don't know, let's say God of War.
Wrecked everything and left.
Huh?
Wrecked everything and left.
Exactly. He's there. He's there for God of War too. A paid guest of Sony. Can Vince get in on that, or is he saying, "Hey, Vince"?
I have a feeling that that's something where they go through WWE first and get permission, and WWE probably gets the cut directly from Sony. They pay rope.
You could ask somebody if that happened. Just tweet them.
Yeah, because I mean that's what like they used to do with like Steve Austin all the time. Is when he was on top, people would go to WWE and say, "Hey, can we use Steve Austin for this? Can we use Steve Austin for that?" And WWE would reach out to Steve Austin and be like, "Hey, do you want to do this or do you want to do that?" And sometimes he'd say no because he was too busy, and other times he'd do it. But usually it seems like if this is what history is telling us and they do it the same way, they reach out through WWE directly to see if they can use the person, and WWE will basically say, "Hey, do you want to do this?" Or they'll offer somebody else. CM Punk kind of gave that insight. when a lot of shows wanted to use CM Punk, and they would give them people like Randy Orton, saying, "Hey, he's not a guy that we're trying to really push. Randy Orton, he's into tattoos. If you want to do a tattoo show, Randy Orton can do it." So they can also do that.
There's a more clear example. I was talking about you could ask The Rock if Vince got a piece of that Microsoft launch when Rock was there to unveil the first Xbox.
Oh, I guarantee it. They went to WWE and said, "Hey, can we use The Rock for this?" I can't imagine that they would just go to Rock. Rock would say, "Yeah, of course," because you never know. He could have a booking for WWE. So I'm sure if they go to WWE first and say, "Hey, can we use this person? Can we hire them to do our show or something?" And they'll go to the wrestler and be like, "Hey, do you want to do this? You're not booked for anything that day. Do you want to do that?" But if it's WrestleMania, they're not going to be fucking doing a Microsoft launch.
I just think it's funny how Vince is basically pigeonholing his stars into being cautious and tiptoeing.
Well, I mean, he says they're independent contractors, but let's face it, they are employees who just don't get health insurance. And when you're an employee, let's face it, there's a Sony launch tomorrow. We all want to watch it, but we're all employees of somebody. We can't just decide that we're going to watch it. We have to go to our bosses sometimes and go, "Hey, do you mind if I get off for this? If it's worth it." If there's something that comes up, an event that you want to go to, you kind of got to clear it with your boss if you're working that day. It's the same with this.
Well, I mean, that event is not asking us to be there. They don't care.
Well, what I'm saying is these wrestlers, they work 300 days a year. So they kind of have to clear it by the boss first to make sure that A, they're not booked for that day already, and B, that they can get that day off so that they can do these events or do this, TV show. Because here's the thing, it's a TV series, which means that there's a lot of days that she's taping. So it's probably when she was off for that time period, but, obviously you got to get cleared first.
So my understanding is like third-party deals like TikTok, Cameo. So are they in there like as their aliases or as their
yes.
Their alias? Okay, because I remember Big E was on there.
Yeah, so mind you, these bans are not on shit like The Mandalorian. That's not what's being banned. What's being banned is going on stuff like TikTok, Instagram, your own personal TikToks, your own personal Instagrams, your own personal YouTubes as your in-ring persona, unless it's monitored by WWE's producers, unless it's monitored by their social media team. If it's just you on your phone doing your personal TikTok or your personal Cameo is another big one. If you're doing it as a WWE character on your own personal time, that's what's banned. It's not going and doing The Mandalorian or showing up to a Microsoft show. That's not what they're talking about, because that's usually something that's cleared with WWE directly. They're talking about when somebody goes and does their own personal thing, like if Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins was still employed and they were doing their podcast. They knew better that they would use their indie names or their real names instead of their ring names, because they might not be able to constantly use those for their podcast.
Right. I mean, we'll see what happens next week, but not next week, but in the coming weeks, rather. How this is affected. A wrestler or two is going to be speaking in the tea leaves, and they're going to let some things come out and voice their opinion about the said band. So I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with that.
I mean, yeah, a few of them have already said their displeasure in it, but I mean, for the most part, most wrestlers who have had established followings on social media have already made sure that they're using their ring names, but then you have the few idiots who, just want that notoriety. But yeah, they're going to have to start using either their real names or aliases. Up, up, down, down is one that he always uses aliases because he knows that, if something happens, if somebody says something stupid, he knows he has to cover his ass.
Right.
Did you want to go on to SmackDown?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you have it pulled up, or you want me to pull it?
I can pull it up.
What's that?
I can pull it up.
Yeah.
I didn't say out.
I didn't think you did.
Mm. All right, so WWE opened the show playing tribute to September 11th. Before going live with Roman and Heyman in the ring. Jey Uso came out to the ring looking more fired up than he has in a long time. They had a Uso and Heyman has a long history, and he thanked Paul for setting up his opportunity in the Fatal 4-Way. Heyman said it was actually Roman's idea to have him replace Big E. Ray said his whole family is proud of Uso because he earned his opportunity to main event a pay-per-view. Which, come on now, you think people in their living room celebrating? He's main eventing Clash of Champions. Aren't you so proud? No.
Fall off a Hell in a Cell into a truck and then talk to me.
Right. So then Roman Reigns switched gears up real quick and said he's going to whoop his ass at Clash of Champions because it's not his time to win. Then Baron Corbin came out, so they're still keeping that together. Complaining about Roman Reigns' nepotism to give his cousin a title shot, called it an abuse of power. Then Sheamus came out, and then we had a tag match. So they're double booking. They're saying, okay, Nia and Shayna, you don't like each other, but you're champs. We'll pair you together. Jay and Reigns, I mean, you kind of like each other. You're forced to by blood, but you really don't because of what's between you. But we're still going to pair you together. So it was a tag match that was set up, which main evented. We'll get to that in a little bit. Jeff Hardy took on AJ Styles for the Intercontinental Championship. Before the announcer could introduce the competitors, Sami Zayn came out and ranted about how he was the real champ. He called Jeff Hardy a sham champion. And we got to see Drew's boy, Adam Pearce, came out, removed Sami from the situation, and while the champion was distracted, Styles attacked him from behind. Styles attacking Hardy from behind. So the bell rang, Hardy ducked him in the corner, hit him with a twist of fate, a swanton bomb, but then AJ avoided it and they went to a commercial. Sami Zayn then came out of nowhere a couple minutes later, attacked AJ Styles as he prepared to hit the phenomenal forearm, so AJ would have went over. But now I think we're going to get a triple threat match between these three. Sami Zayn, Styles, and Jeff Hardy for the Intercontinental Championship. If we do get that, I think Sami Zayn should win because we need a Sami Zayn. I prefer right now in this day, Sami Zayn over at Jeff Hardy because he's a better character. Like he's more charismatic. What did you say?
I said, yeah, for sure.
We talked about this. We haven't said this in a while, but Sammy, I don't know. I said before, Sammy feels like a SmackDown guy, but I feel like he's a Raw guy now. But he's good on the microphone.
That's what he was doing. Most of his good mic work was on Raw.
Yeah, I mean, he's back on SmackDown now. Cool. But if they have a draft, which I thought was coming after SummerSlam, which normally happens, but didn't happen this time, um, you know, you can get them back on Raw, but we'll see. Later in the evening, Hardy was in the trainer's room, and then Zayn came and taunted him, and then they brawled, and then they went to a break. So the storyline is setting up for a triple threat. Lucha House Party took on Cesaro and Shinsuke. Kalisto rolled up Cesaro for the win. So that's saying a lot without saying much. Any thoughts?
None whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm cool.
When you're rolling up Cesaro, when Kalisto is rolling up Cesaro, I think it's time to move on.
Yeah, I think it's time to go to AEW and shit all over WWE.
So I didn't see this, but Bayley turned on Sasha.
Yes.
So we missed that. Okay, let's talk about it. Swervy, I noticed it's your alley. She was here on SmackDown to talk about why she betrayed Banks and why she did what she did. She said she knew that Banks was about to turn on her because
man, she felt the walls closing in, man.
Yeah, she said she never cared about Banks, and she just wanted her to be used to get what she wanted. She claimed she was useless after the tag team titles loss. So, I mean, this is good heel work by Bayley, and I'm not mad at it. And I don't know if I'll be mad if Sasha doesn't go over. Maybe I would be just a little bit.
Will they be back together in 2 weeks?
They need to make her a top face, so she's going to have to go over. I don't know if she's going to go over the very first match, but it's probably going to be a 2 or 3 part series. But I don't know which one of these two is, but one of them, because I don't think they've been in enough tag matches. But I would say that as far as like turning on a partner, one of them is going to shape up to be the female Shawn Michaels. I just don't know who.
Well, what is this, year 6 of their career?
Well, Bayley's got the belt, so I have a feeling that Sasha Banks might be the Marty of this team.
Well, I was gonna ask. You made the comparison, Swerve. I mean, who was the closest to being Shawn Michaels right now of the two?
Well, Bayley has the belt because she's had the run. It's her time to do what she's got to do. But once she drops it, she's going to go to the bottom. So I don't know if I would call her Shawn Michaels.
Every title reign that Sasha Banks has had has been super short, whereas Bayley's on almost a year.
I want to say longer.
I mean, yeah, it's close.
He won this when fans were still in the crowd.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
and the funny thing is, I don't think it was in the plans for her to have it longer than Becky, though.
Maybe not, but it definitely shows that babyface or heel, with Sasha Banks, you're getting the same productivity out of her. Babyface or heel, you're getting the same super short title reign, and then back to the same grind. Whereas Bayley, she went heel, and it's worked for her.
So you guys think if Bayley?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, she was overlooked all those other years. So, whoops.
Just like Shawn Michaels.
Okay, so if Bayley loses, you guys are saying that she's gonna go to the bottom?
I'm not.
I'm saying either she's gonna go to the bottom or she's gonna be gone for a minute.
Well, you're building her as a heel. And from what I can see, I don't know on the active roster who's the best or biggest heel in the women's division on SmackDown.
The reason I'm going to say that is, has they proven that they can maintain any of the women once they drop the belt and get out of that picture? Have they proven they can maintain anybody? I mean, just the other week they paired up two people, and now they're like the number one contenders for the tag belts. Two people who weren't even one of them weren't even wrestling. I don't think.
Who?
Huh?
Mickie James?
Yeah, and then what's the other girl? She was managing, and now she's the number one contender. Like, come on, they don't know what to do after you lose that spot. They don't know how to maintain a the women's status, because I don't know if it's because they don't have another belt or they just don't care. But that's why I feel like when once Bailey loses that belt and there's someone else in this picture to be in that spot, like a Mandy or somebody, she's gonna get pushed to the back.
I think
So, like, while you people make fun of Sasha for having those short reigns, she's maintained to be in the title picture when she was there. Never like in the back of the line like Alexa Bliss is, which, I never thought that would happen to her.
well, yeah, that goes into my next question then. So let's say, well, not even let's say, but I think, I do want Bailey to remain a heel. But the problem is, let's say Bailey drops the belt to Sasha, and then we get that championship speech on SmackDown, and then she's interrupted by somebody. Who's it going to be? Because, Becky Lynch is gone, Charlotte's gone, Ronda's gone. Their top 3 talents in the company are gone. It's right now.
I would have told you Mandy, but they moved her over to Raw. So now I don't know.
Right. Is it going to be Lacey Evans? Is she a face again?
I haven't even seen her lately. What is she doing?
I haven't seen her either.
See?
Well, they keep on hyping that one woman in high heels, which is, I'm predicting to be the next Emelina.
That's Summer Rae.
Oh. Oh.
That's all that is.
Well, see? So what do you do? Because if Bailey loses, rather, you can't have a feud with Sasha again.
Well, I would give them those 2 or 3 months. And then they got somebody new. And I'm talking about after you spark off the first match.
I think if Sasha wins, this is a one and done. I don't think this goes on past Clash.
You know what I believe, though, for Bailey, as far as who is going to eventually take her title? I think that they're waiting until Becky is back. I truly do believe that they are patiently waiting for her to have this kid, get off maternity leave, and come back and win this belt.
Are you telling me Vince is calling her every couple of weeks? Hey, you dropped that baby yet?
Hey, so has it fallen out yet? Are you healed? How's that ACL? I mean pregnancy. My bad.
I don't know, man. She's not even. What is she, like 4 months?
No, it's got to be closer than that. She left. She left when they were fans.
That is right. So, like, what, February? This is after Mania? No, this wasn't after Mania.
It was right after Money in the Bank.
So February, March.
Oh, you know what? It was probably no. I'm sorry. There were no fans in the crowd at that point in time. I don't think.
Yeah, I was gonna say she didn't leave when they were fans. They were just NXT fans. That's what it was.
Yeah,
because she was hugging Asuka in the ring, and it was very quiet. I remember that.
Yeah.
It was Money.
So yeah, so probably like October. November. So she gives birth then. She's got to train. You know what that means? WrestleMania.
Yeah, she's not gonna come back. I don't think she's gonna come back to a one on that. She's gonna have to win the Royal Rumble or something. That's what they're gonna do for her. And then at that point, it could be anybody.
No, she's good enough to come back without and win it without it. She's gonna say I had to give up my belt because I got pregnant.
Yeah, but they're not gonna do that. They're gonna make her win the Royal Rumble. That's how you do a comeback story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like she got hurt.
I mean, she technically did.
A baby does hurt, for what I hear.
I mean, a pregnancy is basically destroying your ACL in WNBA. I mean, you're out for the
You're gonna
season.
get canceled, man.
Oh, come on. Their two fans are not listening.
See, here you go. All I'm saying is that is the path that you put somebody on who's been hurt in the ring, not somebody who gave birth. Like, if Ronda Rousey came back tomorrow, or she came back in November, are you throwing her in the Royal Rumble gauntlet for her to get the shot at the belt or what? You know she's going to win it. Why put her in it?
Well,
Number
I mean,
30.
you could ask that question for when they put Triple H in it when he returned. When they put John Cena in when he returned, you can ask that question for everybody. So why not keep repeating the same formula?
Because they was hurt. That's all I'm saying. These aren't people who walked away from the sport.
I mean, you put her in as number 30, and that's how she comes back.
Okay, and technically they didn't walk away. Well, I mean Ronda did, but Becky didn't technically walk away. She was hot in the pants. She was fooling around and got herself knocked up.
Man, she could have dropped that baby just like Phil dropped them Xbox release dates and pricing info. That's all I'm saying. Any other commentary about Sasha and Bailey? All right, so
Right before the Royal, it'll culminate before the Royal Rumble, or yeah, it'll be a new storyline after that, I should say.
we'll see. Swerve, you're like 67% from the field when it comes to predictions, so we'll put that one up there. Nikki Cross took on Tamina, who took on Lacey Evans, who took on Alexa Bliss. So
Tamina's still there?
of course.
Weren't they repackaging her as some crazy woman?
Hey, look, she ain't getting no third party money, dog. She ain't on Cameo. So where else she gonna be at?
Hey, this is Tamina. Happy birthday.
She's like the one person who could do other stuff and use her real name and nobody would know. I don't even know if Vince would know. Because I just feel like they're not watching her.
You still pay her?
I wonder if this limitation is set to porn. Like, can Tamina use her real last name and that just be her name of her porn identity?
For OnlyFans?
Right. So I'm just gonna read this from Bleacher Report. We return to see Alexa Bliss trying to comfort Nikki Cross with some officials. The match began and all four women paired off to fight each other. Bliss and Cross were thrown out of the ring so Evans could choke Tamina against the rope with her leg. Cross eventually recovered from the attack by Bailey and teamed up with Bliss to take out Tamina and Evans at ringside. So I guess Bailey must have knocked out Nikki Cross earlier in the night. Then a SummerSlam special out of nowhere.
Bliss bent cross over and hit her with her sister Abigail right in front of the commentators. So Michael revealed Bliss left the match after taking out her former. Nikki Cross made her way back into the ring and began all three working close before Cross won with a sunset flip to Tamina. So he leaves. Alexa Bliss up. Bray Wyatt disciple here now?
I think when she do it, it's the Todd Pettingale.
Nice. This is a hell of a storyline where she's been feuding or where she's been loving Strowman for a partner in a mixed match tag team tournament. Come all the way here to her, leaving him for Braun or for Bray rather. Moving on, Otis took on John Morrison. I just scrolled down because I didn't want to cover the match, but this interesting paragraph. The A-list.
Did he at least win?
No, I didn't even get to that part. The A-lister grabbed Otis' lunchbox and ran away with it because he and Morrison believed that it had the Money in the Bank contract after they found the briefcase was empty last week. So Otis hit a splash on Morrison for the win. Went to break. Otis revealed he still had the contract in his possession. We then saw Miz and Morrison finding nothing but an apple core in the box he stole. So we asked the question last time we were all together. How are they going to take this off of Otis? Is this it?
I hope not, because it can't be these two.
I really don't know. I think that I think they honestly backed themselves into a corner with this. But I honestly do not believe that Otis is going to be cashing in this contract.
Does anybody even know, is his stock still up? Or was it ever up? I mean, is he selling t-shirts? What's happening with Otis right now?
His segments with Mandy Rose were big around the time of Money in the Bank. But with Mandy Rose going to Raw, you could definitely tell that that's over. They're not doing that anymore. So it looked like his stock with WWE is also down.
Hey,
They should have
that Money in the Bank contract, if that means anything.
Yeah, she should have just took it from him before she left. Challenge for the women's belt.
Or what she could have did was, see, I'm a sucker for returns. So let's say this is AEW and they had their own Money in the Bank and they gave the Money in the Bank to some jabron, and the jabron had a hot girl that she was with, that he was with rather, and she stole it and then gave it to Rusev. That's how you make an entrance.
Yeah.
I don't think the WWE has something up their sleeve like that. And I wish that they did. Because that's a good idea for her to steal it. But I don't know if that would have worked because she's a face. So are you willing to sacrifice her coming a heel?
Yeah, because it kind of was just throw away the whole. What's the other girl's name? I can't think of her name right now.
Sorry.
Yeah, it would just kind of throw all of that away, the whole Dolph and all the other stuff that they did. It would just throw all of that away because Dolph is still tweeting about this when she came over to Raw to much, so she can't stay away from me, that kind of stuff. So they're apparently still paying attention to that part of the storyline. So I don't think that they would do that.
So maybe this ends with Otis looking at the tweets, challenging him, and then Dolph saying, "Okay, Mandy's really the pawn. I just used her to get to your contract."
Maybe.
But again, Dolph is just a schoolfish.
He's not even on SmackDown though, right? He's not on there.
No, but I mean, Dolph isn't a piranha. He's not. He used to be, but now you're telling me Dolph against Otis for the Money in the Bank contract. I'm not really gonna care about that.
I, however, would care about him more than I would care Otis with the contract.
Yeah, it's like 51-49.
It's not like, he's going to make me break my neck looking at what's going on, but it makes more sense than Otis.
It does, but
is there somebody else on the SmackDown roster, only the SmackDown roster, that you can give that to right now? Because with Roman being over there, having the Money in the Bank really don't make too much sense for the type of face that Otis is. Because Roman is not, he's not a cowardly heel. At least he hasn't come to be that way.
This is Super Roman right now. This is what is when your man from Dragon Ball Z, when he levels up, what do you call it?
Super Saiyan Roman?
Yeah, this is Super Saiyan Roman right now. It's Roman Lesnar.
He definitely got the hair.
He come in the joint before you even select the wrestler, start me off with 4 specials. That's what we get with this dude. So, I mean, I don't want to see it squashed because he could easily squash Otis's chance at a cash in. And I don't know if there's somebody else who would give it to that's on SmackDown. Because is there a wrestler right now on SmackDown that could make or that could tower over Roman Reigns as far as the stare down is concerned?
Tower over? I won't say tower over, but I would say that you could give it to another person people care more about, that the fans would rally behind, and that's Big E.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Big E also already revealed in an interview that there was a storyline. I forgot what storyline it was, but it was supposed to go to Big E, and it instead went to Roman to push him harder. They could use that as kind of one of those, well, you buried me. I know that they've done that like 90 million times already. Like, oh, we're peeling back the curtain, folks, but they could use that to, push it a little bit.
Here's my problem with that. We know Big E's not going over. So should you waste it now? Should you wait a couple months?
No, I mean, you don't waste that now, but I mean that's what I'm saying. This whole thing with Otis is for. You can kind of burn that now, perhaps. Big E should most definitely take the slow burn. Just keep doing what he's doing. Hopefully that's winning matches until they build him up to be an actual face and not just a face for a B tier show. So that what Jey Uso's getting, that one time challenger that you never see again.
That's that guy in SmackDown versus Raw where he wins the Royal Rumble in your career mode, and it's like William fucking Regal. Like, okay.
It's like when Farouk fought The Undertaker, like when Hardcore Holly fought Brock Lesnar. Like you never saw those guys again after that one time they got.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like they're gonna do if they were to waste Big E now. So you have to actually thoroughly build him.
But then again, that depends on if the company actually sees Big E as a viable guy, a viable singles wrestler. Do they?
I mean, the talent, the roster on SmackDown right now, as far as again people rallying behind him, I think is pretty thin. Now, I haven't been watching that much lately, but I don't think the landscape has changed all that much.
Well, I'm not talking about just like guys around him and who has a talent and who's physically worthy of it. I'm saying, does the company, does the office themselves look at Big E and go, that's a guy that we can definitely see being our heavyweight champion? Or do they look at him and go, that's a tag team guy. That's a B plus player at best.
That's always an uphill battle, especially with his particular gimmick. If you're out there, clapping and making people happy, and Apollo cruising them to death, then they're not going to see him like that as long as they don't let it. Maybe he has other ideas that he wanted to pitch. Maybe they're not letting him do it. I mean, I don't know. But I think if he wanted to, this is just me personally, I might be wrong on this one, but I think if he wanted to do the singles run, then he needs to break. He doesn't have to be heel, but he needs to break away from the New Day stuff.
But how do you?
Without being heel? I mean, Xavier is out right now. You could just have him. I don't even know if is Kofi in the picture at all too. Like, is he wrestling or is he kind of like on the sidelines?
He was injured, I think. He was
in-
banged.
That's
why
banged.
This singles push is because the other two guys in India are banged up.
Okay, then I mean you don't even have to do that. Then you just have him kind of say, "Hey, look, I'm going on my own path, and I got this." They already gave you the blessing speech. I mean, just have him come out with some new music, like, and then he could deal with Kofi or Xavier when they return. But as for right now, I don't think you don't necessarily need to. You can't turn him heel because you already have Roman. So
I don't turn him heel, not by any stretch of the imagination. It's just I don't know what you do though. You got to do something. I just don't know what you do.
you could have, unless this will be, I don't know how this will be looked at, but you could have Otis storyline get injured. Big E say, "Don't worry, I'll take the I'll take the briefcase."
Because we damn sure no tag team partner to win it. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's gonna be real interesting to see what they do. But I'm around for the shits. I'm around for the Big E revamp as long as you keep him a face, but just a different kind of face. It might have to be a slow transition.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to slow burn this one. Don't just force him out there because it might not be received well.
I was gonna say, before we go to the next match, the only person that would, I think, be able to go in the ring with Roman one-on-one would be Keith Lee. And I think right now you take the belt away from Roman.
That's unless they don't squander him away too.
Yeah.
They already changed his ring attire again.
Yeah, so
debut Keith Lee is different from 4 months down the line Keith Lee.
Well,
it's already different. They keep on changing his music and his ring attire. He's turned into a joke. They've already killed off his character. It sucks. It's like
what's happening is when the new and improved 2K comes out, you're gonna get debut Keith Lee. Pre-order only. Debut Keith Lee. The week after the debut Keith Lee, and then 3 weeks later Keith Lee.
The DLC is NXT, Keith Lee.
Exactly. But that would be the only one. I mean,
so instead of years, it's gonna have like the week that he debuted next to his outfit.
Exactly. Keith Lee, W1. You know, stuff like that. Moving on. It is Sheamus and King Corbin taking on Jay and Roman. So the match started. The big dog was nowhere to be found. That's right, 2-on-1. So before that happened, though, we got a new episode of Firefly Funhouse. He tried to reveal a parrot named Pasquale, but the bird appeared to have perished in the box that he was keeping it in. So then in comes Vinnie Mac, the puppet version, though. He came in and read Wyatt the Riot Act on 9/11 of all days. So there's a new special advisor to the Firefly Funhouse. It's Wobbly Walrus. So I don't know what that was about, but whatever. But the main event, however, back to that, started off as a handicap match where Sheamus and Corbin taking on Uso. Uso was even attacked during the entrance. Cousin never came out to save him. Family, right? Type of family is that nice?
Listen, man, blood don't make you family.
Yeah. As Roman said. So the bell rang without the big dog on the apron, which is that really sanctioned? But I'll digress. Roman didn't show up for this match until Sheamus was about to hit Uso with the bro kick at the end. It was enough for his music to be a distraction to Sheamus. Came out, he wrecked it, then he left. So they celebrated in the ring together, which was kind of a begrudging smile from Reigns and Uso each, which became more of a wider smile by Jay. But then when they got to the top of the ring apron, or the ramp, excuse me, Roman lifts up the WWE Championship, and then Uso lifts his arm up, where it looked as though they were both holding the championship up. Roman didn't like that at all.
So, quick question here. I don't know if you guys were able to have seen these entire like Roman segments at all, or maybe the whole show or not. But has Roman become the premier wrestler? And what I mean by that is he now like not going to be involved in the minuscule matches on the show? Like he's literally just coming in there, doing what the shirt says, and getting up out of there. Yep. Like
He's
very under 5 minutes work.
So essentially, you're asking us, is 23-minute match Roman Reigns dead?
Yeah, I mean, I'll even take it there. I'll take it to the pay-per-views. Are we going to see from him, if it's a one-on-one, are we getting more than 10 minutes out of Roman? Interestingly.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting the 20-minute matches on SmackDown anymore. I don't think that's dead. I think that's over. That's going to be over for a long time. This match with Jay is a good story. It's perfect. You tie it with Paul Heyman. The first official match with him as a starter, from him being out so long. He's in there with his cousin, somebody he wants to work with. It's a good way to, get him some on air time. But Roman's still getting the win. and see where he's at health wise.
All right, I'm going to tell you where I think this is going. You guys are going to probably laugh at me.
Oh boy.
Roman's heel. He's the premier guy now. You guys kind of admitted to it.
He needs a stable?
No, I'm not going to say that. They kind of killed that idea by him beating on Jay. I don't know if Jimmy's going to get a title shot, but he's going to disgrace the entire family until he has to face the great one at WrestleMania.
Oh my God. What
He's going to put him down. Rock's going to put him over at WrestleMania.
Yo, if he spears Rikishi, I might become a Roman fan.
Probably will spear Rikishi. I mean, I don't think they'll have a match, but he'll definitely spear him.
Yeah, like he's in attendance for the championship match. And he comes out to check on him. Roman just spears the shit out of him. I would love it. But yo, I've been waiting for them to pop on this forever. I've been waiting for Roman to go heel.
And can you imagine him just doing it to Rikishi, Alpha, Sika, just fucking everyone down the fucking list?
He's gonna spear Nia and Tamina too.
Nia injured referee on the way down too.
That's when Rock gonna step in like, all right, man, you tripping hard now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be real interesting. But I like what they're doing with him. So
the only reason I'm saying that because one, it would be a fantasy match that people want. And secondly, if you did all of this just to have another CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar, Heyman guy versus Heyman guy match, I'm done. Because they can't do Roman versus Brock again.
I don't believe you right now. I don't believe that. Because guess what? Guess when you will be done.
Would they do it again?
No. When go back to 17, where it was Rock and Austin main eventing. And after the second stunner, think about how groggy Rock was in the ring. Right? Now, leave the grogginess from the Rock, but take out Austin and then put in Roman Reigns in the corner, ready to strike him with a spear. Think about how pissed you'll be when he connects. Because The Rock is not winning against Roman Reigns. Tell you that now.
Oh, I told you. I just said that The Rock will put him over.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
I am.
That'll be Rock's retirement match. His real retirement match.
Yo, if that happens, that motherfucking push better be taller than the fucking Superman roller coaster. As far as him being a heel. It better be all systems a go. Because if we're talking,
is what they're gearing up for now.
If this is the long game, I'm just saying, I hope so. Because boy, oh boy, you want to talk about how pissed they was when Undertaker lost? Oh, this is going to be worse. This is going to be worse.
Just think about it. While he was faced, they couldn't do this because he was going to get booed out the thing anyway. And even if Rock tried to heal it up for him, he was going to get cheered. So this is a clear heel and face if they do this.
I mean, I would want it to go down. Go ahead, Drew.
He's going to brag about killing The Undertaker. He's going to brag about killing The Rock. Man, this is going to give him so much heat that he can use for this angle. Ooh, I honestly, I'm getting chills just thinking about that shit.
Right? Right? I mean, I get it. From behind the curtain, I get it. But man, oh man, would they hate this motherfucker. Oh,
and he will.
They would
the only thing he's got to know how to. Well, even think about it. He don't even have to know how to talk his game really no more because he got Paul Heyman. I mean, everything is put in place for this dude. Everything.
Paul's gonna talk that shit too.
Yeah, but no, Paul might get that mic taken out of his hand and say, "Chill, Paul. This is family right here. This is family business."
No way. He's gonna be talking so much shit while Roman's doing his thing, because then when they go back to Roman eventually being a good guy, then he can do the whole. It was Paul. Paul was egging me on. That's why he was like talking all that shit. He was egging me on. He was in my head. He caused me to do this stuff.
I'm just saying, this is mega proportions. If that goes down, I would love it because I've been asking for it. Vince, we know you're listening, bro.
Only thing Roman got to do is get his cockiness up. That's all he got to do.
I'm sorry, what?
He got to get his cockiness up. Oh, you trying to be immature? My bad. Go ahead. Say it.
Hey, you said it, man.
My bad. I'm sorry. I'm not always there. My bad.
So this is WrestleMania, obviously.
Oh, of course.
So you expect Roman to drop the belt then?
Drop the belt?
Before then?
No. It's September. Like, come on. Bailey had it longer. Like, he's gonna hold it. There's nobody on SmackDown.
This is the only misstep I could see. If they say Rock and Roman for the Universal Championship or whatever belt it is, I know for a fact Roman's winning. I mean, I know now. But
How?
I'm not trying to think. Huh?
The Rock beat CM Punk for that belt. I mean, you don't know he's going to win. The Rock can easily come back and win a belt.
Yeah, but Drew, if I'm my idea here is that Rock is only there for WrestleMania, not 3 months before it.
No, I understand, but as far as like the suspension of disbelief, sitting there saying, "Well, I know Roman's winning it." No, you can easily go into this going, "Man, I don't know. The Rock might actually win this thing."
No.
The reason I'm firmly against him not I'm against him winning is because he's got a lot on his plate. He's got the XFL and all that kind of stuff now. I don't think he can carry it for more than a month.
I agree. The Roman would go over, but at least it has something in the fans' mind of, man, he could win this. I mean, Roman would win it, but at least it's not something where he's facing, a Mick Foley who is not going to win. The Rock's won in this position before. You at least have those stakes.
I think more of a chance for him to win with no belt being involved than one if there was one.
Yeah, they're going to want those stakes.
And then, like with doing that, you get him out, and then you have time, hopefully, to usher in some new guy to challenge Roman, some new face. Maybe that could be Big E's chance. I don't know. Maybe that could be somebody else coming back from return. I mean, I don't know. But like usually they like to do those big returns the day after you had your big match because, the show must go on. So that's whoever that guy is will probably take it away from Roman.
That's where Brock comes out, baby.
As a face.
As a something, because at that point, he ain't got Paul Heyman no more. Unless Paul, I don't know. I don't want to get too. This is a good time of year, though. This is after SummerSlam. You got the next big show, a Survivor Series, coming up next month or in a couple months. This is when things start to get interesting.
That would definitely be interesting.
Oh yeah. And I'm around for it. That was SmackDown.
All right.
Do we want to get to some
2 hour mark?
Do we want to get to some dirt?
Sure.
All right, let me get it up here.
Hey.
Damn,
Yep.
son, where'd you find this?
That wasn't me that time. So a female wrestler, back when they were talking about that whole Me Too movement in pro wrestling, a female wrestler named Abaddon, she is a independent wrestler, had mentioned that a large named pro wrestler with a big name, did make sexist comments towards her. She recently revealed who that was, and it was Al Snow.
What?
Yeah. So here's what happened. So she had a seminar at Ohio Valley Wrestling. During the seminar, she was, they have like different wrestlers who show up to the seminar, get to like work out and stuff. And during the entire time, he would sit there and just make verbal comments like, can you be more attractive so we can book you? Or you're too fat to be doing flips like that. You're not the Undertaker, so stop trying to be. And at one point he says, if this was a dildo on a pole match, you guys would actually work better.
Oh my God, he said that?
Yeah. So as of this recording, he has yet to respond to any of this. But it's pretty shocking. But it is also something I could definitely see Al Snow saying.
So he wasn't Al Snow, he was Leaf Cassidy.
Oh, no. I have something on his former tag team partner as well, and that be Marty Jannetty. The last time we talked about Marty Jannetty, he used his social media platform to kind of confess to murder.
Is he in jail
Well,
yet?
no, he's not. But there is an investigation, a cold case. But he has since spoken about this, going, well, you see, this wasn't an admission of murder. This was me actually starting a wrestling storyline. And when people asked, what's that?
I was going to say, I would have respected more if he just said I was hacked.
People are like, for what company? Like, what kind of fucking storyline is this? He didn't really elaborate. So apparently, if you're out there and you're going to some hodung fucking indie show, you may be seeing the start of a storyline where Marty Jannetty murdered somebody when he was 15, or he's just really bad at lying.
Maybe he's under embargo. Can't really talk about it.
Or shouldn't really talk about it. WWE released AOP last week. They were in Roman Reigns' stable. They could not stay healthy to save their lives. It's not really surprising that they were released. Two other releases from WWE, Gerald Briscoe and Mike Rotunda. Backstage agents, of course, Gerald Briscoe, one of the Stooges, on air, off air. He was, a agent who worked with a lot of the young guys. Mike Rotunda, formerly known as IRS from back in the day. His son is former Universal Champion Bray Wyatt. Both of those guys kind of surprised that they were released. Speaking of injury prone, wrestling career not starting out on the right foot for Simone Johnson, who is The Rock's daughter.
Uh-oh.
She just recently had her third, count them, third knee surgery.
Damn.
What the fuck is Nia Jax cosplaying Nancy Kerrigan?
Oh. when her boyfriend takes a shot, you know it's over.
I do you a pop on that. I just gave y'all a little ball.
This is now I'm visualizing her in some fucking figure skating outfit, just waiting for her to get like out of the ring. Like, who the fuck is this person? Oh, my knee.
Oh boy.
The next thing that we have, man, that was good.
That sucks though, man. She got 3 knee surgeries.
3, and she's like only like 19 years old too, by the way.
That might not be her line of work then.
Yeah, she might want to go to the office of the XFL.
You can't debut like Stone Cold Steve Austin. You have to get there.
Yeah, you can't show up with a broken neck.
A broken freaking neck.
So TBS is going to be debuting 2 new shows. The first one is a rehash of the old ABC show Wipeout. This one will be co-hosted by John Cena.
Don't let no one push you around.
So John Cena, John Cena is going to be taking over co-hosting duties of this Wipeout series. Also on TBS, the Go Big Show, not the Big Show, the Go Big Show, which will be kind of like America's Got Talent for rednecks. It's just demolition derbies and like fucking just like what they if you watch the promo for the show, you'll understand what I'm fucking talking about. But it is hosted by Bert Kershire, comedian, and the 4 judges on this will be. Let me actually pull up who the actual 4 judges are. Okay, so we're going to have the 4 judges being Jennifer Nettles, who's a country singer, Rosario Dawson, Snoop Dogg, and Cody Rhodes. So AEW's.
That's very odd.
That? Well, AEW's
Well, Snoop, make sure you go talk to Vince. Because that's third-party work.
Snoop Dogg doesn't work for the WWE.
Oh, shit. You'd think you would.
It's just that his cousin works there. So, I mean, of course he's going to be showing up.
He's in a wrestling match.
When did he wrestle?
I thought he was. He at least performed at WrestleMania.
You got to pass a drug test.
Let's be honest. No, you don't.
Right.
Last 2 things I had was former presidential hopeful Andrew Yang had commented on WWE comparing themselves to Warner Brothers and Disney when it comes to their third-party banning. Some of the comments that he had was, it's infuriating to me because I know that WWE has been trying to play it both ways for years, where they're saying on one hand, you can't do anything without our say-so, we own you, but you're an independent contractor and we have nothing to do with your health, retirement, any of the benefits you get that would accrue to an employee. So to me, you have to make a choice at some point. If you're going to control these aspects of a wrestler or performer's life, then you should also take some responsibility for that person's bigger picture. So he's really going on the stance of, if you're going to be banning these people from doing anything outside of your company, you got to take care of them instead of just saying, well, no, you're on your own if you get hurt. And then the last thing, it looks like the identities of the Retribution members has been revealed.
I've been waiting for this. Who are they?
So it looks like the group itself is going to be made of 5 people. I know that we've seen instances where there's like a lot of people in the ring, but it looks like it's just going to be 5 main people, and they are all NXT wrestlers who are being just brought up.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know the name of every foot soldier, so I understand that.
So the 5 that have been mentioned, there's 3 guys and 2 women. Dominic Dijakovic, Mercedes Martinez, Shane Thorne, Dio Madden, and Mia Yim.
Shane Thorne.
Is
That
that?
was the guy. That was the guy supposed to go against Undertaker many years ago.
I thought you actually knew who Thorne was.
No, wasn't that him?
I don't think so.
What was the guy name? He was all dressed in all white.
No, that's Kevin Thorne.
Oh damn. Okay. I knew it was Thorne. Thought he was coming back. Revenge all these years.
So Mia Yim, who was the last person I mentioned, she's actually either dating or married to Keith Lee. So that's some tea, I guess, a little dash of tea. But yeah, those are the 5 wrestlers who they're going to be putting in Retribution.
Oh boy, they're gonna bury both of them together. That's not good.
So it looks like they had on Raw, they had them cut a promo. And it does look like Dijovic was the one who was talking. Him and Shane Thorne were the ones that were actually.
Have they revealed? I know you said they revealed their faces and all that, right?
I
Have
don't think
they?
they revealed their faces. It's just that was revealed who's going to be.
Oh, they didn't. Okay. Well, I'm hoping when they reveal, when they get out of their foot soldier gear, that they have similar outfits, if they're going to be like a clan or not. Because if they're not, then this isn't going to work.
I'm assuming it's going to be kind of like the Shield, where they're dressed pretty similar.
It has to be like the Nexus.
So John Cena's going to bury all of them. Okay, so if you wanted to go on to Raw, or unless you had something to add to this.
Yeah, Disney came out with a trailer today.
Oh,
Florian.
yes.
And in that preview, you may have saw a familiar face. She had on a hood. She walked up, and the hood was let down just a little bit, just enough to see her face. It was still kind of shadowy. But if you did see this, that belonged to Sasha Banks, who's in Disney's The Mandalorian.
I'm disappointed, man. I was hoping it'd be Marine 12.
I don't know what character she's playing, but she had on the all black get up. So,
Like the Omen.
yeah. I don't know what she's doing, but this is just news. And
That kind of worries me.
how so?
She's dressed in all black. She can't be carrying the championship anytime soon.
I mean, it's already filmed, bro.
Yeah, she could be going out to promote it though, doing other things alongside it. I mean, you never know.
You could be holding the belt and promoting shit.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, y'all say that, but we'll see.
I think it's supposed to come on Friday, though. I think. Maybe I'm wrong.
Mandalorian?
Yeah.
October 30th.
October. Okay. Yeah, she's got time to walk around with that belt. E! News on Monday. Newly crowned WWE champion Sasha Banks. Yeah. Yeah, she'll win it. And then she'll go and do whatever it is that she does. But yeah, that's all I had. Do you have Raw open, Drew?
I don't, but I can get it open if you want me to.
I got a question from Abby, just so you guys know, or something.
Okay. All right, I'm pulling it up right now. So Raw going head to head with Monday Night Football. You know what we're getting? We're getting, watered down Raw, I guess. Drew McIntyre challenges Randy Orton to an ambulance match to start this off.
So I saw this, and I don't know if this was scripted, but it seemed kind of jumbled because Adam Pearce came out and said, "Yeah, we don't even know if he's going to be competing, so you can't go and make that stipulation." I don't know if that was flub by McIntyre and then Pierce coming out to correct him, but yeah, that's what he came out to say. But that was how the promo ended.
They state is Dolph Ziggler first and foremost joined the commentary team today with Michael Cole and Byron Saxton. So instead of a 4-man booth, you had a 3-man booth with Dolph Ziggler, Michael Cole, and Byron Saxton. He replaced Todd Phillips and Samoa Joe. Drew McIntyre told the Thunderdome he was not fully cleared to compete. He refused to heal up and forfeit his championship. Instead, he would risk his health and to stay champion, and he had challenged Randy Orton to the ambulance match. Adam Pearce then did arrive to announce that Randy Orton was not healthy enough to appear on the show, and he may not make it back by Clash of Champions. He advised that if Orton did not compete at Clash and Keith Lee defeated the champion in the main event, then Keith Lee would face Drew McIntyre at the pay-per-view.
Smells like triple threat to me.
Oh, yeah. The next thing that we had was champion versus champions. Street Profits taking on Cesaro and Nakamura. This match ended up with Street Profits getting the win. It was not title unification or anything like that. It was just both championships on the line. I'm a little bit surprised that they actually had one team actually win instead of having, like a schmozz finish.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Next thing that we had was Cedric Alexander, fresh off his heel turn, taking on his former partner Ricochet. Cedric Alexander came out with the Hurt Business, and he eventually would get the win over Ricochet. The lights then went out. Afterwards, Retribution showed up and warned WWE that the group would destroy the foundations of the company. So they actually did cut a promo. The Hurt Business told Adam Pearce that it would take care of Retribution for a price. Of course, they couldn't even win a U.S. title from Apollo Crews, so I don't know why he paid them to take care of Retribution, but whatever. And then we have Botch Fest Supreme, Raw Women's Championship, Asuka versus Mickie James. So for the second straight week, we have a referee stoppage in a match after the referee stopped the match when it looks like Mickie James had injured her shoulder. Asuka does win this match. After the match, Selena Vega came out and confronted Asuka. She told her that she was done wasting her career on ingrates and she wanted the championship, slapped Asuka, and walked away. So it looks like
contendership.
What's that?
I said that's how you get a number one contendership.
Don't tell these fucks. I want your belt. Yeah, this was all over the place, especially because of the fact that it was sloppy. Mickie James was just all over the place. She got injured. I'm not sure if she was actually injured or the company's just like, bro, just get her the fuck out of here. Either way, I personally don't feel like she's going to be around much longer. Next up, we have Bobby Lashley versus Eric from the Viking Raiders. Lashley got the win by submission with the Hurt Lock. Do we care about that?
Not really.
Steel cage. Seth Rollins versus Dominic.